You know, machine data, it's just chaotic, right? It's this constant wall of noise. Well, today, we're going to dig into the ELK Stack, which is this incredible set of tools designed to find the important signals hidden in all that noise. It's all about turning those overwhelming log files into clear insights you can actually use.
Okay, so picture this. You're in charge of 500 servers. Everything's running smoothly, and then bam, a critical app goes down. You know the clue you need is buried in one single log file on one of those 500 servers, hidden among millions of other lines. Where do you even start? I mean, this isn't just a thought experiment. It's a total nightmare that ops teams live through every single day.
And look, the problem isn't just the sheer amount of data, it's how messy and complex it all is. As our systems get bigger and more spread out, our data just becomes this tangled web. So let's break down why the old school way of looking at logs just doesn't cut it anymore.
For starters, your logs are everywhere, decentralized, scattered across every single machine. Then you've got inconsistent formats. A log from a web server looks totally different from a log from your custom app. And to make things even more fun, you've got servers in different time zones, so their timestamps don't line up. Trying to piece together what happened when becomes almost impossible. And on top of all that, you practically need to be a wizard to read and understand the raw logs in the first place.
So what's the answer? How do you actually fix this mess? Well, we need a system that was built from the ground up to handle this kind of chaos. And that, my friends, is where the ELK stack comes into the picture. It's not just one tool. It's a whole integrated platform designed to bring order to all of this complexity.
At its heart, the ELK Stack is basically this powerhouse trio of open source tools that are designed to work together perfectly. Their whole mission is pretty simple: give you one single place to gather, store, search, and this is the most important part, actually visualize all of your data from everywhere.
All right, so to really get how ELK pulls this off, we've got to break it down and look at each piece of the puzzle. Each one has a very specific and really crucial job in the whole data pipeline. So let's meet the team: Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana.
First up, we've got the E for Elasticsearch. And honestly, this is the heart and soul of the whole stack. It's a massive, scalable search and analytics engine. What it does is take all of your data, stores it in this really flexible, easy-to-read format called JSON, and then it builds this super powerful index. And that is the secret sauce. It's why you can sift through terabytes of data and get an answer back in like milliseconds. It's crazy fast.
Okay, so if Elasticsearch is this super fast digital library, how do all the books, the data, actually get on the shelves? Well, that's where L for Logstash comes in. Logstash is the data workhorse. It's this pipeline that can grab data from pretty much any source you can think of, but its most important job is to process that data. It cleans it up, makes sense of all the different formats, and gets it ready before shipping it off to Elasticsearch. It's the part that turns that chaotic mess into one clean, unified stream.
And last, but definitely not least, we have K for Kibana. Now this is the cool part. This is the face of the operation, what you actually see and play with. Kibana is this slick web interface that sits right on top of Elasticsearch and lets you explore your data visually. You can build all kinds of interactive dashboards, charts, maps, you name it. It's the tool that turns all that raw text and numbers into a story that you can actually understand just by looking at it.
Okay, so all that theory is great, but let's get real. How does this all come together in a crisis? This is where you see the magic happen.
So let's jump back into that nightmare scenario. An e-commerce site is broken. People can't check out, and you're losing money every second. The app is built with microservices, so the problem could be anywhere. The user service, the product service, the API, who knows? Without a system like ELK, you're basically flying blind, just guessing where to even start looking.
But with ELK, the whole game changes. The process is totally systematic. First, Logstash is pulling in logs from all 5 services at the same time, processing them and making them all look the same. Then, all that clean data gets fired over to Elasticsearch to be indexed. And finally, the team just opens up Kibana, and suddenly they can search and see the data from all the services in one single dashboard.
And this is the payoff. This is where it gets really good. Because instead of trying to read through millions of lines of text, the team can just see the problem.
They pull up their Kibana dashboard, and boom, there it is, a simple bar chart showing error rates per service. And one bar, the order management service, is just skyrocketing past all the others. There's no guessing. They know exactly where the fire is.
But they're not done yet. It gets even better. They just click on that order management bar to drill down. A new chart pops up, maybe a donut chart, showing the top errors in that service. And the biggest slice by far,
database connection timeout. In just 2 clicks, they've gone from a super vague, the site is broken, to a crystal clear, specific root cause. Think about that. Something that could have taken hours, maybe even days, of just frantic, stressful searching, logging into server after server, was solved in a couple of minutes. That right there is the real power of the ELK stack. It turns a huge, complicated problem into a simple visual hunt.
But here's the thing. ELK isn't just for putting out fires. I mean, once you have all this data in one place, the possibilities are just endless. What if you could watch your app's performance in real time? Or what about analyzing security logs to spot a threat before it becomes a disaster? You can even track business metrics to see how your customers are actually using your product.
Now, just a quick heads up on the terminology. The whole stack has grown over the years. So while a lot of people still call it the ELK stack, you'll also hear it called the Elastic Stack. That's because they added a new set of tools called beats. Just think of beats as these tiny, super efficient little messengers that are great for simple tasks, shipping data right where it needs to go.
So really, when you boil it all down, the ELK stack does something incredible. It takes this resource that was messy, spread out, and almost impossible to use, and it turns it into one central, searchable, and visual source of truth for your entire team.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Just imagine, for a second, that every single piece of data your systems create, from error messages to user clicks, was all right there in one spot, ready for you to explore. What would be the very first question you'd ask it?